Hi friends, this is Vema Reddy. Uh, in the last video, I have shown how to write a file to the database using the CSV file. So when I posted the video, someone has given a comment. This is the channel, my channel. When I posted a video on this, someone has Ramakrishna has given a comment on how to use the util file package. I just googled it like to see what that is basically meant, and using ChatGPT, I realized that this util underscore file is a pre-inbuilt Oracle package. With that, we can get a control of the reading and writing to the operating system where the database server has been installed. So this video is like more like how we can do these things from the Workato. So this this guy has facing some issue. It seems like I just try to or take a chat GPT help and try to understand the UTL file how it works, and then I try to replicate the thing. So we will go and like step by step like what are we going to do and do in this one. So the first thing is this is the package procedure I created. If you see, this is the procedure, right? So we are just creating a procedure. So this procedure is the latest procedure, right, to file. If you see this one, I have already connected to the Oracle database through SQL Developer. And in this, what is the procedure created is right to file. In this procedure, I'm taking the two inputs. One is a directory name where I need to write a file, and another one is what is the file name that I wanted. With this, I am going to write it. So with these, I have defined two input parameters. You can see the in is stands for input, and I have taken two parameters. Parameter one is for directory and parameter two is for file name. And then I am just declaring this as for internal purpose. So this the way how it works is the UTL file first, you need to open it by giving the directory name and the file name, and with W is for writing. And once you get a control onto the file handle, the file object, so with that put line, you can just pass this reference of the handle, and then you can write as many number of lines you want. So this is a simple one. And in case of any error occurred, these are the two different types of error. We are handling invalid operation write error. And in case of any error occurred, we are just going to write it to the DBMS output statement. We are just giving the write to the console. So these are high level things. To replicate these things, right? The first thing is it is not a string object. It's basically a kind of a directory object that you need to create it. So for that, you have to create a directory object here. So for that, how that directory object looks like. So if you go to the ChatGPT help, right? So you can see that directory object, how you can create it is you have to first create and replace a directory with this one. So in my case, I have given the directory path as this one. C, Bhumi, and Workato practice is the one. So in this, I'm going to create the directory object. So if you just open, look at my directory, right? So you can see that this is a directory object I created. In this directory object, what I did is how you can create it. This is the command to create it. Create or replace directory, and then put your directory name as I given as a Workato underscore directory. And after this as temp of temp, I given my directory. So after that, this is how it looks like. So once this thing has been given, now this is a simple string field. So this is one of the prerequisites. But in case if you're the user with which you are running this thing, right? So I connected the user is with Bhumi. So if you see this, I is connected with user called Bhumi. So for this Bhumi, I didn't have a privilege to create this object directory object. So first thing what I did, I log in with an system role, and I created the permission, grant create any directory permission to this user. After this permission has been given, I'm able to execute the command for the create directory command to create a directory object with the Boomi login. And then this has been created. After that, again for that Workato directory object that you created, we have to give a permission for read and write permission to your username. That also I have given it here. Once I given these things, the prerequisite things have been set up. The first thing is you should have a permission to create a directory. Once you create a directory, you should have a permission to for your user. You should have permission to read and write. And then the next setup thing is you should have a sample procedure that can write the data to the file. So these things also I created it. So now everything is there. The first thing is we always validate from the Oracle side, the stored procedure and everything is correct or not. So what I did for that, I'm just going to delete this one. Okay. So I'm just going to here. I'm just going to run this one. How we can run it here? You can just go and click on the run here. So you just put the values already been entered here. So this is the input values, double click and you can just give these values for these directories. And you can see as when you type it, it will be replicated here. And this is how the procedure name, and you're accepting the two parameters, and the two parameters is declared here and the values is been assigned here. The moment when you click on run, right, it says that the procedure has been executed. So if you just see this one, okay, so you can see this some log file is updated. You can see file output 2 has been written successfully. If you go to this, there is a file has been created it over here. So it means this confirms that, this confirms that uh, the procedure is good. So procedure is good. So now let's go back to the Vocato. Like, let's see how we can utilize this one. So I just created a recipe for this one. So already in the previous video, I already had established the connection to the Oracle database. So what I need to do is instead of you use the insert rows, a batch option. So what I did is I have used action called execute stored procedure. In this execute stored procedure, the moment once you select this execute stored procedure, once you select this connection, right? So in the setup, it automatically shows a procedure. If not, you just click on that refresh button so that you can see it will be reconnecting to your database. By the time it reconnects, it will be non-readable mode, and then it will be visible, and you will be able to see all the procedures and packages and everything you can see here. So this is a procedure, dummy procedure, which doesn't have this any input. It takes the directory and the file name, but this is the one which takes the input and directory. So this particular procedure takes two inputs. That is, this is a workato directory. This workato directory is a database object. This database object has the actual location of the file path, OS level file path, where the file is going to write. I can say it is not a file path, it's a reference to the database object that points to the actual file path. And then the next thing is the one is a file path. So if you want to randomly generate the files, you can use the formula options, and then you can just use some kind of other options, right? So you can just put new date, all these things. You can write some date functions, and then you can write all the functions also, so that you can get uh, all the dynamic file name how you want to get. You can able to get the all that dynamic file name also, you can able to get it. Okay, so this is how you can add use the functions, but I'm not going to use this as one. I'm going to use the hard coded one as, I'm just going to give this as the file name I'm just giving, and then I'm just clicking on and then save. But you can see at this moment with this file name, the file is not there here. Output underscore Vocato underscore DB. So the moment when you run, so the file will be created over here. So if I just go ahead and say here, click on test recipe. So the recipe will be created, and you can see the file has been created over here. So when you just open this file, you can see this is how it looks like the file content, whatever the content has been written as part of the stored procedure will be written over here. The three lines we are just writing it. So you can do a lot many things if you want. This is not a specific example why you want to use the stored procedure to write it, but we have an option with Workada has a wide range of support with the file options to write, read and write or manage the names. But this is more like, uh, how we can utilize this inbuilt file package and how we can execute the stored procedures from the Workato. This is the thing I wanted to show you. There could be a specific use cases where they would be utilizing as part of the writing the complex packages or procedures in the Oracle PLSQL level. They might be using this inbuilt packages. Okay, I think this is the what I wanted to cover in this video. So I just wanted to quickly walk through this execution one. Like you can see, there is nothing is being coming out of, but if you just see what is the thing you are passing, this is a stored procedure that we are trying to execute. This is the directories and this is a file name that's going to write and nothing shows on the debug. And this as usual, like it just gives the timestamp information, like when the job has triggered. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to show in this one. So you can try to replicate the same stored procedure. You can write your own stored procedure and try to see. And in case if you run into any issues, you can just ping me no, put a comment on the YouTube. I'll respond. Thank you so much.